Greetings to all. Welcome to today's video lecture on environmental pollution. So, today we will be discussing the various aspects which affect the environment which we live around. So, many of us are going through a tough time, and this is because of the imbalance in the nature which the human has caused. The most basic pollutants or pollutions which we hear often are noise pollution, air pollution, water pollution. So, we will be discussing more in depth and various kinds in the coming slides. So, first, let's discuss what exactly is environmental pollution. Any undesirable change in physical, chemical, or biological characteristics of any component of the environment. That is, any change in the air, water, soil, which can cause harmful effects on various forms of life or its property around it. So, anything which is changed by an undesirable intervention is known as a environmental pollution, which causes harmful effects to the existing life around it. So, what is a pollution? The term pollution can be defined as influence of any substance causing nuisance, harmful effects, and uneasiness to the organisms. So, if a human alters in the nature's well-being, or if he tries to make any changes which causes imbalance or ill effect on the organisms living in the environment, that is known as pollution. And the substance which is causing this pollution is known as pollutant. The next topic, if we see, is known as what is pollutant. A pollutant is any substance causing this nuisance or harmful effect or uneasiness to the living beings in and around that particular region. So, this particular substance which causes the pollution is known as a pollutant. So, next, if we see, there are various types of pollutions. The most commonly which we come across is the water pollution, air pollution, and noise pollution. Lately, we have also come across land pollution, which has been developed a lot, which we will be seeing what exactly this is. And there is also nuclear pollution, which causes due to your wars, bombs, your chemical reactions. And we have e-waste, that is electronic waste, which is discreted from the IT industries. Further, this can also be classified or characterized into indoor pollutions and outdoor pollutions. Now, we'll be seeing what are the classifications of pollutions. How are the pollutions being classified? So, there are three major types. So, first one is degradable non-persistent pollutants. So, these substances are easily broken down by the environment through natural process. For example, if you see here, it can be your domestic waste which is excreted from your house daily. It can be your garbage or sewerage. So these are easily broken down in the environment. So this doesn't cause any much harmful effect. Next classification is slowly degradable non-persistent pollutants. So these are pollutants which can be broken down but takes much longer time. Usually it takes decades to break down these pollutants. For example, your pesticides. Pesticides are most common types which is used in the agricultural field by the farmers. Once you use a harmful pesticide to protect your crops, the effect of that will be in soil much longer time, usually through years. And your third classification is non-degradable pollutants. These pollutants does not break down in the environment by any chance. Even if the environment wants to, it doesn't happen. This takes millions of years, like your lead, mercury, nuclear waste, which is there in the environment through generations. The For nuclear waste, the classic example can be the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, which happened way long back, and still the effects are available in Japan. Next, if you see the different types of pollutants, which has been classified or characterized under their pollutants and given the example as well. So there are various gases which are released from the industry which affects your air pollution immensely. You have industrial waste which shoots out the smoke, tart, dust, which is another major contribution for your air pollution and your water pollution. You have metal waste, which is your land pollution, like your mercury, lead, zinc, which is excreted from the manufacturing industry. You have acids, you have agro-pesticides, domestic waste, you have radioactive waste, and your e-waste, which is secreted from your IT sector. So let's move on to the most common type pollutant, and the first categorize is air pollution. So air pollution is something which is secreted or tampered, which affects the well-being of the organisms around that particular atmosphere or region. So in this slide, if we see the presence or addition of any component to the air which cause harm to the health of living organisms. So anything which causes harm through air is your air pollution. The best example for this can be your COVID-19, which is going on right now, which spreads through air very easily. So here, if you see, the classification of air pollution can be of two types, that is primary pollutants and secondary pollutants. Primary pollutants can be your ashes, your salt particles, pollen, smoke, your chimneys which blow out dust or smoke. These are your primary contributors to your air pollution, and your secondary pollutants are your smog, acid rain, or ozone layer which is depleting due to the harmful effects caused by man-made. And the effects of the pollutants on living are, this gives an immense irritation to eyes, throats, and nose. So whenever majority of you would have traveled for a long distance and you feel irritation in your nose, in your mouth, in your eye, this happens due to dust, no clean air. So this is the best example where you can find air is polluted to a major extent where it is hard for the human to breathe. Next, we have the major type is water pollution. Water pollution is one of the major crises in today's economic world. I can say this pollutant is affected throughout the world. People are finding hard for drinking water. So water pollution can be defined as alteration in physical, chemical, or biological characteristics of water through natural or human activities and making it unsustainable for its desired use. So if a fresh water or a drinking water or a usable water which cannot be used further for any activity is usually known as a polluted water. So if you cannot use the water for drinking or for irrigation or for cooking or for bathing, this water is waste, it cannot be used. So it goes as wastewater. So there are various sources for this, usually point source and non-point source. Point source is basically you know where the pollution is coming from, and non-point source is you cannot identify the source of it. And the various water pollutions are classified as your municipal wastewater, industrial waste, organic pollutants, non-organic pollutants, agricultural waste, marine waste, and thermal pollution. So if you can see here various pictures which I have put for your municipal waste. Then your industrial waste is basically your excretion of your chemicals, your textiles, your clothes which are no longer in use. All these are secreted, discharged into your water bodies, usually into the rivers. This is your industrial waste where they secrete your harmful chemicals, oil, usually which goes into the ocean or into the river, and river again joins your ocean. Then you have your inorganic pollutants. Then you have your organic pollutants which are easily broken down by nature. Marine pollutions, usually whenever the ships which are sailing, huge ships which are sailing across the sea, they tend to discrete the waste into the ocean. So these are usually known as your marine pollution. The thermal pollution is where your nuclear power plants which treat your water bodies have to secrete waste. This waste again goes back to the water. This usually causes the rise in the temperature, which kills birds and fishes which are available or living in that aquatic region. Next important type of pollution is your land pollution. So when I was saying land pollution is basically it is the demolition of Earth's land surface, often caused by human activities. So you can see majority of the places in Bangalore are being dug either for construction purpose or for infrastructural development. These cause these cause a lot of disturbance for the earth as well as human activities. And next one is your noise pollution. Noise pollution is a day-to-day activity, I can say, in today's world, where loud noise which is above the decimal point, which cannot be borne by the human ear, is known as your noise pollution. This can be caused by your heavy machinery, construction work, or by people shouting around, or by music system, or um, the songs which are played on a high volume, which disturbs the mental health of anyone across that vicinity. So, the World Health Organization stated that noise must be recognized as a major threat to human well being. So, this is one of the major causes for the human not finding a peaceful mind if there is no peace around him. And the sources for the noise pollution can be industrial activities, transportation activities, your domestic activities, cultural activities, agricultural activities, defense activities, mining, and other activities. So, this can be your day to day activity. So, here are some of the pictures which I have jotted down for you guys to see how exactly the climate has changed from past few decades. So on the left side, if you see Alaska, how it was and how it is now, the snow has melted drastically which has caused increase in the water level, which causes floods and tsunami. And here if you see the Colorado River in 2002 and in 2003 on your right side, within a span of 1 year, you can see the river has totally drenched out. This has affected a lot of life which has been living around that region. So this was one of the gist of your environmental pollution. Hope this video has helped you. If any doubts, you can get back to me. Thank you guys.